Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another episode of Out of the Park Baseball 25 with the San Francisco Giants. And before I get any further, I had somebody ask me a couple of videos ago, and I just kept forgetting to take a look at somebody we drafted in last year's draft, not the one that just passed, but wanted us to look at Vince. Is it Leitner? Vince Leitner. So this is, we drafted him in the 11th round, 23-year-old, average bat, good range, maybe second baseman or third baseman with these ratings, maybe not shortstop with that error, but second base or third base for sure. And Steve Bush was the guy we passed up on. So Steve Bush, not as good offensively. Same deal, though. I mean, high work ethic. Third baseman, probably with that turn DP. Could probably get away with shortstop here. And he went in the 16th round, so we could have had them both. But high work ethic. Our guy has an unknown personality. So, I mean, they're I don't want to say comparable, but I mean they're fairly comparable. You know, offensively, Leitner's got the potential to be the better player for sure. Defensively, yeah, I mean Bush maybe a little bit better. Range is the same. They both have the same arm. I mean that's even debatable whether or not Bush is better. Bush has the better infield error. Leitner has the better arm. He's probably a better third baseman. A little bit better in the outfield here. So, yeah, I mean, comparable. All right, so we are into the potential postseason / offseason episode. It is September 20th. We have 12 games left. August was a really good month. We went 19-7. Excuse me. In August, we've only got 9-8 so far here in September, but we're second in the National League in runs for a team that has struggled to score for 4 years in this playthrough. We're second in the National League in runs. We're second in runs against, and we're still somehow 8.5 games behind the Dodgers. I don't get it. I was looking at their roster, and they're third in runs scored, fourth in runs against. I don't know how they're so much better than us, to be honest with you. Ohtani's now a bad player, 0.5 WAR. Pitching 0.5 WAR at the plate, and he is under contract for another 6 seasons. Mookie Betts, his numbers are starting to dip as well. He's under contract for another 5 seasons. But they still have Yamamoto and Bobby Miller, which I guess is probably the reason they're as good as they are. That's as good a 1-2 punch as you're going to find. Savale is their number 3, and he looks pretty darn good as well. So it also helps when you have a $400 million payroll and a $450 million budget. Anyway, we don't need to get into that. For us, it's been pretty good. We got Schuenel back, and he's done a pretty nice job for us. I have a contract offer. Well, we'll look at the stats here in a second, but I have a contract offer out to Ceddanne Rafaela. It's a pretty reasonable contract, actually, one that I didn't think he would take. 6 years, $43 million, an average of 7.2 per. That'll take him till he's 34. Even if the bat is league average going forward, the defense and the speed should account for that. So, and his positional flexibility, right? I mean, he can play anywhere on the diamond. So maybe next spring training we train him up at shortstop, left field, and right field. Get him some spring training reps, or see what the development lab looks like for him. All right, so offensively, Royce Lewis having the best year of his career, 5.3 WAR, 855 OPS. He's already a 3,100 guy. We got him for when did we trade for him? 2026. Right here. Right, that was the Meckler deal. So we picked up Royce Lewis and Cody Funderburk, and we sent Wade Meckler. How's he been doing? Just to check in on some former Giants. It's been all right. I mean, he's been a one WAR guy, which is kind of what we thought he was going to be as things started to play out. Keaton Wynn, about a 1-win player. Yeah, I mean, he's been all right. And then I think it was just a couple of, I don't want to say no-name guys, but yeah, Dario Lopez, rather, just made the majors. And then Ty Weber is in the Pioneer League with the Ogden Pioneers. So I'd say we won that deal. William Contreras has been just an outstanding signing. I mean, we got him for 3 years at $24 million. It's probably this year and next. If he hits anywhere close to this, he'll opt out of that in year 3, but we'll take it while we can get it. Rafaela's numbers have slipped since, I mean, he wasn't going to hit 760 the whole time. He's at 40 RBIs in 56 games, though. So he's on pace for 3.5 WAR. Vlad, Power is back. He's having a really nice year. I fully anticipate that he'll opt out of the contract. He's hit 300 each of the last 3 months. So fully anticipate him opting out. So that'll be something we'll have to address. Matos has bounced back after a difficult season last year. Not a ton of power. He's getting on base at a 37% clip, stolen almost 20 bases. Joanel, 23 home runs, 62 RBIs. He missed all of June, most of May, all of June. Only hitting 194 here in September. Gave us some power, though, in August. Grissom having a nice year as well. Over above league average with the bat. And he's been below average with the glove. That's a little surprising given his ratings. And the range is only a 55. Maybe that's something we can work on in the offseason. Dylan Carlson has been forced into the starting lineup due to some injuries. Jake Myers out for a couple of weeks, and then obviously the Nolan Jones injury. So Carlson has been forced into the lineup, and he's actually been hitting a little bit. You can see here he's got hits in his last 4 games. Not a terrible last 2 months. Above league average with the bat, about a 765 OPS, somewhere right in there. I would take that. O'Neill Perez has done a nice job as our backup catcher. No complaints. Arteaga isn't. I mean, he's above. He's given us positive WAR because of his glove. And then Jacob Gonzalez and Casey Schmidt aren't getting it done, but that's okay. 8 for 51 for Casey. That's a little disappointing. We do get Myers back in 2 weeks, so we've got that. And then pitching wise, our starting rotation is really good. I still don't know what we're going to be able to do with Luzardo, to be honest with you. I don't know where that money's going to come from. I mean, I'm contemplating pulling back from development. We got $40 million in our development budget right now. And if we need that money to sign a free agent that maybe will push us over the top if we don't win this year, that's something I'm going to have to consider. But Harrison having another great year, 5.1 WAR. It's on pace for 219 strikeout. I was looking at his contract demand. This is going to be a problem. But this is a contract, honestly. I mean, obviously, I would negotiate that down a handful of $1 million per year. But at 27 years old, he hasn't lost any velocity. You have to think that those numbers will remain. I mean, if I can get him locked into I'll pay him $40 million a year for 4 years. I just can't do it for 9. Luzardo's having a great season. This is one of the best signings we've had. He's given us, 11 WAR in 3 seasons. He's 36 and 22. I mean, he's been great. He's been absolutely fantastic. He deserves to get paid. He honestly doesn't want. I mean, that's not an unreasonable contract. We just don't have the money to pay it right now. So we'll have to see what happens in the offseason. Reed Detmers has been great. 3 WAR. I mean, he's given us everything we could have needed. More than a strikeout in an inning. He leads the team in innings pitched and was only being paid $7 million. Noah Schultz hasn't been great since coming over, 2-4 with a 5.08. Walking too many batters, 4.8 per 9. He'll move into the bullpen during the postseason. And then Nishimura, his first major league season, I'd say has been a success. Been a little up and down, but I'm not Yeah, I mean, last 2 months been sitting at about a 4 ERA, but better in August. It's been bad here in September so far, though. Stevenson, we made him the closer, and he's been okay. He's been all right as the closer. I'm a little concerned about the back end of our bullpen because Mason Miller wasn't good as a closer. He's been struggling as a setup man now, too. In fact, we may want to move this contract in the offseason, as crazy as that sounds. Given how good he was the last 3 seasons, he's been significantly down this year. And, yeah, the overall dropped, the potential control dropped. We'll see. It's not a decision we have to make right now. Marinaccio, we picked him off of we got him in a trade with the Red Sox as a throw-in, and he's been electric. Really been electric. Sheehan, coming over from the White Sox in the Schultz deal, made him a reliever, and he's been terrific. 37 innings, only 22 hits allowed, a .86 whip. The other pitcher we picked up in at the trade deadline was Isaiah Campbell. We got him in the Rafaela deal, 1.85 ERA. So this is why I don't like spending a ton of money on relievers. And when you get one who is as good as Mason Miller had been, I think it makes sense to invest some money. But, I mean, Isaiah Campbell was in Worcester, and he was putting up a 6.5 ERA for AAA Worcester. We bring him to San Francisco, and he's got a sub-2 ERA in 25 innings. So, all right, we got to finish the season and get to the postseason. We're 8.5 games behind the Dodgers. We are likely not catching them, but we are also 10 games up in the wild card. So I feel pretty good about our position there, especially with only 12 games left. Do we have a magic number for? Our magic number is 3 for the wild card. All right. Well, and that should get us there relatively easily. First game in Philadelphia with Kyle Harrison on the mound. It's a 6-0 win. Contreras homers twice. Rafaela homers. Guerrero has 3 hits. Harrison goes 8 and throws a 1-hitter. I had a no-hitter a couple of years ago. Oh, and now I can't remember who threw it. Let me go back and look at Discord. Hold on. It's in here someplace. I'm going to have to find it. I'm going to have to go back here a little bit. Let's see if I can find it. Discord. Yeah, join the Discord, guys. I mean, there's only about 60 of us here, but here it is. So it was Dylan Cease, Mason Black, and Thomas Zapuki pitched a no-hitter. And then the very next game, Kyle Harrison threw 8 1/3 innings of 1-hit ball. So over 18 innings, I gave up 1 hit. Yeah, anyway, join Discord. It's a small group, but we love our out-of-the-park baseball, and we talk about other stuff too. So come join us over on Discord. So anyway, good start to the playthrough. 6-0 win. Game 2. Okay. We'll look at the box score in a second. We got to figure that out, though. I think we go Jacob Gonzalez against lefties and Everson Ortega, against righties, and then Everson Ortega against lefties. We'll move Duran up, and we'll move Carlson up. All right. It means we should have him back. No, he's out for 5 weeks. We won't have him back. I take that back. Contreras. No. Ortega and Grissom homers before he leaves due to injury. Lewis with a 2-run single. Ortega 3 hits, 3 RBIs. Luzardo with another great outing. Another run given up by Mason Miller. I think maybe we just overworked him. So we made the playoffs. We've won 4 in a row. Rafaela 2 hits and an RBI. Contreras 2 hits and an RBI. Ortega drives in 2. Nishimura goes 6. When we get to that last series of the year, though, well, actually, where are we from a playoff perspective, are we going to have to play? I think we're going to have to play. Are we going to have the second best record? We might have the second best record in the league. So we're not going to win the division. So we're going to have a wild card. So we're going to have to play in the wild card round, even with the second best record in the league. That's a little annoying. But what it means is we need to plan out our rotation in that final week so that we're not, I don't want to say stuck starting Nishimura in day one, but I'd rather have Kyle Harrison going in game one. So get to that last series of the month and then figure it out. Another win. 5 in a row. Vlad 2 for 5, 3 RBIs. Vlad and Matos both homer. Detmer goes 5. Sheehan blows the save, but Coffey and Stevenson come in and do a nice job. It's a 4-3 loss and a 2-0 win. Vlad with another home run, another Kyle Harrison win. So I think we shut Harrison down now because we're at 156. We have 6 games left, which means he's going to have to start another game. And I'm not crazy about that. So I think we can start Luzardo today and still have him fresh for game 2. But I think Harrison is done for the season. All right, we got Ohtani, or we got Miller here in game 1 against the Dodgers. 5-0 loss. We signed Ceddanne Rafaela, and you'll take a look at this contract. 5.1 next year, 7.3 the year after that, and then a couple of years at 7.8 with 2 team options at the end. So I am pleased with that. So it's essentially a 4-year deal. If he's bad, we'll opt out. All right, so we lost 5-0. I want to make sure that it was 2-1. So it's 2. This is not encouraging. Getting swept by LA at home, getting ready to go to the postseason. That's not encouraging at all. Given that we're likely to have to go through the Dodgers to get to the postseason, to get to the World Series. So pitching staff, we've got Schultz, and then Harrison. Yeah, I don't want Harrison starting that game, and I don't want Luzardo starting that game. So I think what we're going to do is this. I'll pull these 2 guys out. We are going to bench player for 5 days. We are going to bench player for 5 days. And then give Gage Jump a start, and we'll give Emmett Sheehan a start. Oh, no, we can't. He's tired. Coffee a start. We can't. He's exhausted. Dabovich. All right, Dabovich. Cool. So it'll be Schultz, Jump, and Dabovich in the final series of the year with Luzardo and Harrison on the bench. So I don't want them to get hurt, and I want them to be ready for the postseason. All right. 4-1 win. This is a great name. Serhat Elahi. Scouting Discovery. Wayne Malkin gets better. We have anything here? No. Michael King. DL Hall. Good start by Schultz. 6 1/3 shutout. Shona with the home run. $6-5 win. Behind Gage Jumps, 6 innings. Look at that. And this is a Rule 5 guy. Rule 5 guy. Again, this is why I don't spend a lot of money on bullpen arms. It's just not necessary. Royce Lewis 2 for 4. Homers twice. Drives in 6. He's not going to win the MVP, but he definitely should be in the conversation. He's been really good everywhere he's played defensively. He's been a beast offensively. In the final game of the regular season is an 8-5 loss. So I saw Nolan Jones is recovering. He's about 3 weeks ahead of schedule. That puts him beyond the end of the postseason, though. So Jung-Woo Lee wins the batting title I want to show you how bad he is defensively, though. So we gave him 2.64, 858 OPS, 123 OPS plus. He was really, really good offensively. Are you ready for this? Look specifically at his zone rating. That's as bad as I've ever seen. He's got an awful arm. He can't move to his left or his right. So I am content moving on from that contract. But now it is time to set our roster. Playoff roster, eligible. We get Grissom back in 3 to 4 weeks, which means if Myers is back in 2 days, I think he needs to go on the – yes, we'll pull Schmidt off. We'll pull Jake Myers on. Is Jacob Gonzalez eligible? He is. Okay, so we'll leave him there. All right. So we're going to be taking on Colorado. All right. Pitching staff, we're going to go to a 3-man rotation, and that 3-man rotation is going to be Harrison, Luzardo, Detmers. Harrison will be our starter. Schultz will be middle relief, and specialist Nishimura will be middle relief. Long relief, I think we had Sheehan. I don't think we need to go. I don't think we need to go use more often. We've got enough bullpen guys here, and the hope is that these guys take us deep into games, right? All right. So, line up against lefties. Jake Myers will come in at center field. We're just going to set these to never. All right, and then Carlson, Ortega. This doesn't really matter. Duran. Carlson, Duran, Ortega, Perez against lefties. And then we'll do the same thing over here. I don't love starting Jacob Gonzalez. In fact, I think I may go to Ortega. Carlson comes out. Myers comes in. We'll switch him and Duran. Carlson, Ortega, Perez. Gonzalez. Do that. All right. It's not ideal, but, dealing with some injuries here. Our lineup would look a whole hell of a lot better if we had Nolan Jones and Vaughn Grissom out there. Just saying. All right, so he's going to miss game 1. No, he's back. All right, he is back. All right, so here we go. Nestor Cortez against Kyle Harrison at home, and we win 5-3 in game 1. Jacob Gonzalez, love it. Jacob Gonzalez, a pinch hit 2-run homer in the bottom of the 8th to put us out in front, and we get the win. Harrison gives up 1 run in 5 1/3, strikes out 12. Nishimura blows the save, but we get the win anyway. We got Doval against Jesus Luzardo and Framber Valdez, 15-3 with a 3.45 in Colorado against Luzardo, and we sweep the series. We win 3-1. Our pitching does exactly what we need it to do. Contreras goes 3 for 3. Luzardo gives us 7 shutout. Now we get a bit of a breather here before our next series, I think. Oh, we're taking on the Giants. All right. Let's go back to pitching. I'm going to make this a 4-man rotation, and Nishimura is going to be tired, right? Yeah, shit. I should have had Nishimura not start. Harrison. Yeah, these guys are both exhausted. We're going to have to go. I don't want to go Noah Schultz, but I don't have a choice because I was dumb with my... I think we will do this. None specified. Avoid high leverage. See if we can just avoid Nishimura pitching, because I really didn't want Schultz pitching. Or at least starting. All right, well, my mistake. So it'll be Reed Detmers against Yoshinobu Yamamoto. We were 7-6 against the Giants this season, and we lose 9-6 in game 1. Yeah, my fear is that we're going to get down 2-0 because we're starting our 4th and 5th best starters. Detmers gets hammered. Yep, not a good game. Not a good game for us. Noah Schultz against Bobby Miller. Yep, this is exactly what I was afraid of. Schultz got absolutely trucked. And Nishimura pitched again. Well, at this point, it doesn't matter. They still have to beat us at home, right? I mean, what do they say? A playoff series doesn't start until a home team loses a game. So we got Harrison going in game 3. And we win there 5-4, and we hang on, literally by the skin of their teeth. They score 2 in the 9th. Vlad with a home run. Harrison goes 6. Nishimura pitches again. Stop pitching him. Just stop. Just stop pitching him. Stevenson gets the save. All right. We got Ohtani against Luzardo here in game 4. And we lose the series in 4. I don't know how this Dodgers team is as good as they are. That's disappointing. That is a disappointing end to the season. I mean, the Giants were the best team in baseball, so I can't be too disappointed by it. But, yeah, I don't think it would have. I mean, maybe it makes a difference if we start Nishimura in game 2 rather than Schultz. But, I mean, ultimately, the Giants, the Dodgers were the best team. So we get knocked out in the division series. We come up short. We win 95 games. I think it was a good season. I'm pleased with the way the season went. Not pleased with the way it ended, but pleased with the way it went. So let's take a look at some of these starters. Only a potential 55 fastball, but extreme ground ball over the top. Yeah, I love players like this. Sign me up. Tamez as well. Cazares as well, just because he's got the high work ethic. So we're going to move on to the offseason, which I wasn't crazy about doing, but, I knew we were going to do it. I was just hoping we would do it a little bit later. Oof. There's our target, guys. There is our target, Albert Delgado. Yes, sir. I try not to go after, these guys have got really good bats, but I try not to go after first baseman in international free agency, because I just feel like, anybody can be a first baseman, which isn't true at all, but that's just sort of how I feel. Anybody cannot be a first baseman. One, two, three, four, five, six, 7, 8. I got to remove somebody. We'll remove Rainer Cole, I guess. All right, so that should give us our 10. It does. Let's run our practice. Tamez just got better with our scouting. He's up to an 80. Oof. Hopefully league interest stays low on some of these guys. All right, let's see how the postseason plays out. Red Sox, Mariners, Dodgers, Braves. Dodgers and Sox are up in their series. Dodgers, Red Sox. Replay of 2018. Red Sox looking for back-to-back World Series championships in our world. Good, Von Grissom is eligible to come off the DL. That's important. Or is it going to be the Dodgers? Red Sox win back-to-back World Series. Good for them. All right. Yep, that's not a surprise. Vlad avoided his contract. Team payroll about $190 million. We have some money to spend. But again, a lot of that's going to go right back into Luzardo or Vlad. Ooh, the league is expanding. Interesting. Portland and Las Vegas. Sure. I don't like the Las Vegas Leafs. We'll go the Las Vegas Jackpot. Let's go with the Las Vegas Jackpot. They'll be in our division. We'll expand the league. All right. What do we need to do? Do we have any coaches that need to be signed? No, we're in pretty good shape there. Do we just go to arbitration? I think we just go to arbitration, right? And we'll be expanded. We don't have anybody in the top 10 in prospects. Where's our minor league system at the moment? Do we have some work to do? We do. We have 2 of the top 100, Giannis and Burgess. That's not great, but that's okay. That's what happens when you're good. All right, salary arbitration. I guess let's start here. What does he want? He still just wants that 4-year at 27. And he's gone up a little bit. So I think first thing, just do that. Let's just do that and get it over with. Duran wants 3 years at 6.8. Carlson wants 4. Yeah, I'm not giving either of them that. What does he want? No, I'm not paying him that much. I think the first step here is to try to clean off some Mason Miller. Well, I just have it listed as starting pitchers. That's not what I wanted to do. Although, I was hoping there might be a hidden piece in there that is better than his ratings suggest. Like, Elder's not bad, but the whole point of this is to get rid of the contract. Yumin Lin, he's 25. It's not terrible. Let's do this. I mean, I can keep trading for Red Sox. We need a new outfielder to replace Jarren Duran. This actually feels like a pretty good move to me. We'll see what else is available, but I have a feeling we're going to trade for another Red Sox here. Johnny DeLuca. We'll just continue to make the Red Sox good as they go for a three-peat. Yeah. I mean, even our GM says this is a real steal. Can we get a bullpen arm to replace him? Jose Cuas? Oh, he's 34. I thought that said 24. A bullpen arm you're willing to give up? Lavender? No. How did Bummer do for them? Not good. Not good. How'd Hartle do for them? Not good. All right, well, somehow they continue to win. Christian Little? Claimed on waivers from Toronto. Anthony, would you give me Christian Little? I can give up. I don't want to give up Adonis Guzman. You want Cole Messina? Sure. Yeah, okay, great. So we're going to give up Mason Miller, who had a really good run for us. He was really, really good for 3 seasons. Struggled last year. His contract is getting a little bit more expensive. $13 million next year, $11 the year after that, as he gets into his age 30 and 31 seasons. He's like 75, 55, 45. In return, we get Christian Little, who's 70, 55, 35. So just a little bit off, but 10 years younger, making the league minimum. Make him a bullpen arm and just see how he does. And then we'll pick up Miguel Bleis, who immediately becomes our fourth outfielder and potentially a starter against lefties as well. Let's go ahead and make that deal. Fans aren't going to like it, but that's okay. Gives us more money to play with, which is important because now potentially we can bring back both Vlad and Luzardo. Who is this? Miguel Manzano. I don't know. Active roster, Little and Blyce. Call them up. I want to make sure that... What time is it? I'm going to have to pause here in a little bit. Upcoming free agents. Let's make sure we sign all of our contracts. All right, so let's do ARB first. Let's just do ARB first, get it over with. So 2.28, so 2150. Will that be? Yep, okay. So we'll get Coffee locked in. He's been outstanding. Harrison wants 26. That number's gone up. Can we give him... I can't give him that yet. Let's see what we can do with everybody. I'm not ready to dish out a $50 million contract to my starting pitcher. So let's get everybody else signed first. Funderburk, 1.3, that's fine. 2.50. That's the thing we got to remember is what do we do? How do we bring back all of them, right? That's going to be the hard thing. I don't know that we can bring back both Luzardo and Vlad, so it's a matter of which one is more valuable to us. We might have to just let them both go to free agency and then see which one is... Well, that's a reasonable contract. Let's do this. Let's see if we can get this down to 14. Get this down to 20. This at 19. This at 18. Wants 5 years. I'm fine doing 5 years. Let's do this one at 20. Let's do this at 19 and this at 18. Yep. 5 years, $91 million for Schueno. Sign me up. Matos wants 10. Grissom wants 6. 8 years, no. I'll go 5. Yep, we'll do that as well. 5 years, $34 million. Locking up our young players long term. Ortega at 1.5 is fine. The backup middle infielder, I'm okay with it. And then Matos wants 10. That's a lot of money for Luis Matos. He's had a couple of good seasons, one not so good season. We don't really have a replacement for him yet, though. Just curious. Can we do outfield for outfield deal here? Can we bring in a different type of outfielder? Maybe one with some power? Baez? No. He looks like a lesser version of Matos. Calabrese. Looks all right. Good defensively. That's it. Denzel Clark. Really good defensively. Don't like the contact. Think we just hang on to him for another year. All right, that's fine. Oh, I want to do this real quick. Right practice. Yeah, all right. That's kind of what I was expecting. But Delgado is still average. He's going to end up high league interest when it's all said and done. All right. So Matos, 10-3. So what? 9-6. It might be 9-7. Not even 9-7. 9-8. All right. We'll save $500K there. All right. And now Harrison. 26-6 is his ARB number. So 26. I mean, I can't imagine that he goes for this. Let's move the opt-out after year 2. Okay. So he's willing to go 4 years, but I got to get this number down. I can't give him. Will he do 30 and then 45? Will he do that? He won't. All right, what about 32.5, 42.5, 45, 45? Nope. I can't give a starting pitcher $50 million. I'll give you $50 if you give me 25 this year. All right, that's a 4-year, $175 million contract for Kyle Harrison with an opt-out, with no opt-out. Can we change these? Can I make them team options? No. Okay. All right, let's go back to the 4 years. All right, 25 and then 50. All right, we got to sign. We have to. All right. 4 years, $175 million for Kyle Harrison is a crap ton of money, and it doesn't leave us with much left to spare either. We haven't. I mean, we can now sign, like, when we get to free. I mean, we have money for extension, so we could sign one of these players now. The question is who? I got no problem lowballing him. He wants 4 years. Can we get him 22.5? Oh, now he's pissed. All right. Sorry. So Vlad wants 4. Luzardo wants 5. I feel like we need to wait and see because Luzardo comes out. This is our starting rotation, and then we need to add a 5th. We'll get a couple of draft picks. Offensively, if Vlad comes out, that leaves a pretty substantial hole in our lineup. He's been durable. He's given us 4 years of at least 23 home runs. 3 of his 4 years he hit. What is his ratings haven't dipped. All right. He wants 4 years. We'll give him 4 years. 4 years at 22.5. That's a 4-year. All right, 4 years, 25. $100 million contract. Wow, he is set on 27-2. All right. That'll leave us with some money to sign. Can we do 26? Work with me here, Vlad. Give me 4 years of 27. All right. 4 years, $27 million for Vlad. Get Vlad locked down, get Harrison locked down, and then work around that. If we have to pull some money from development to make it happen, then that's what we'll do. All right. Now we got to go to our protection list. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ortega. One, 2, 3, 4. He's a free agent. 5. Colina, I think we protect. Can we protect all of these guys? There's 24. We can protect one more. I'm not protecting the guys that are free agents because in theory, the expansion draft is after free agency, so we won't need to. Let's put Mason Black on there for now because we may need him if we can't find a starter to go into that fifth role. Batters, do we want to make any changes? We do have Nolan Jones on the list, right? Yeah. Carlson and Duran will both be free agents. This will be a shot for Casey Schmidt to go elsewhere. Rustin Rigdon, one of our first draft picks. He'll likely get selected. Same thing with Noah Sheffield. Aaron Bede. All right. Yep. I am good with that. Sim ahead. Zapuki doesn't like our minor league contract. Joey Bart doesn't like our minor league contract. It's fine. I don't even know who this guy is. Must have been a Rule 5 pickup. All right. Matos signs his contract. Fans like that. Kyle Harrison, fans like that. Isaac Coffey, fans like that. Our fan interest back up to an 86. I don't think we're done. We still have some players to sign, right? Yeah, Grissom, Schoenel. Though Schoenel should give us a fan interest bump. That's the hope, anyway. We do. Yep. Puts us at an 88. Cool. Now we're just waiting on Vaughn Grissom. Oh, and Vlad. Right, I forgot about Vlad. All right, there's another fan interest bump. Takes us to 89. Still just waiting on... Yeah, we're still just waiting on Vaughn Grissom. All right, that's fine. Gold gloves. You can see the American League. And in the NL, nothing. All right. Reliever of the year, David Bednar for the Rangers. And in the NL, Josh Hader. Back to Milwaukee, really, where it all started. Good for him. Isaac Coffey. Again, this is why I don't spend a lot of money on relievers. Von Grissom signs his contract, but we don't get a fan interest bump for it. Silver Sluggers, Baltimore. They had 4 of the 9 Silver Sluggers in the AL. In the NL, Royce Lewis at short. Rookie of the Year in the AL, Roderick Arias. And in the NL, Nick Kurtz. Wow, that's a really good year. Manager of the Year, AL goes to Alex Cora of the Red Sox, Dave Roberts in the NL. Tariq Skubal wins the Cy Young in the American League. Logan Webb finishes 4th. He goes 15-5 with a 3.49. War was down a little bit. Did they extend him? They didn't, so he's going to be a free agent. And in the ANL, Jacob Mizorowski wins. Harrison finishes 4th. Excuse me. MVPs go to Gunnar Henderson in the AL, and in the NL, it's Acuna. Royce Lewis finishes 4th. I will take that. Acuna, yep, that's a good season for Ronald. So we're going to get to free agency, and then I got to pause. I got to do some work, and then I'll come back, and we'll finish up the rest of the offseason. Let's see what's available in free agency. Luzardo did not accept the qualifying offer, so we will get a draft pick for him if he signs elsewhere. What do we got for international free agents? Definition of an average pitcher right up and down the board. Well, there's our target. Fumito Yamamoto is our target. We'll be able to get him cheap, or cheaper, I should say. Yep, ground ball pitcher, high work ethic, 3+ pitches, $13 million, only 22 years old. What do we have for money? 19 million. Yep, that's going to be the player we go after. But we're going to go after it in just a second. So I'm going to save, and I'm going to go do what I got to do, and then we'll come back and we'll do the rest of the offseason. Hang tight. All right, we're back. And I may have to pause one more time. I'm waiting on a phone call, but for the time being, we are good. And we have a plan, and I formulated a sort of an additional step here while I was away. We had talked about, or I had talked about, trading Luis Matos, and he's making 9.8 this year. His ARB number next year is almost 12. And we're starting to get into a situation where we're going to have to make some decisions, because if you look at our financials, we got Vlad and Harrison locked up. Royce Lewis is a player option for next year, which he's almost certainly going to opt out of. So we may need to talk to Royce Lewis. And I did bring it up with him. Not a bad contract demand. Takes until he's 36. Maybe we can try to shorten this up a little bit. Nolan Jones has an opt-out, which he's almost assuredly going to opt out of, and he's not even willing to talk right now. Contreras has a team option. Yeah, he's going to opt out of that. We're going to lose him. We're going to need a catcher. Reed Detmer's contract is up after this season. He wants a lot of money. So we're going to have some decisions to make. And I think to give us a little bit more flexibility, one of those decisions is going to be to trade Luis Matos. And I have a trade lined up with the New York Mets to do just that. I got to find it. New York Mets. Here it is. So we're going to send Luis Matos to the Mets. along with 4 technically. I mean, Bro, Sal, and Candelario are not technically minor leaguers, but we signed them last season to be minor leaguers. Can we remove? Okay, we can actually remove both of them. That'll give us some additional depth in AAA in case we need it. So we're going to send Matos. Jesus Alexander is a 23-year-old catcher, just a 2020 guy. And Sawyer Farr, our 5th-round pick in 2024. Looks like a pretty good defensive second baseman, captain type. Or can we send somebody else? Yeah, I'd rather send Nate George. Melendez really good defensively, but and he's a captain. I don't like trading captains if I can help it. That's kind of the you want Nash Wagner? Sure. All right. So Luis Matos, Nash Wagner, and Jesus Alexander to the Mets, and we'll look at Bradfield in a second. But we're gonna get Dylan to break. 29-year-old reliever making the minimum, ground ball pitcher, 4 great pitches, 65, 50, 45. I think ground ball pitcher with our infield defense could do just fine. And we're also going to pick up Enrique Bradfield. 26 years old, making the league minimum, spent the last 2 seasons with the Mets, below average with the bat, but really good defensively and a ton of speed. I don't know that we bat him leadoff, but a ton of speed, and he's going to be better defensively. Well, I mean, I guess he might, I mean, his ratings suggest that he isn't going to be better defensively, but this saves us $9 million, and if we can get, even if we get 50% out of Bradfield, what we got out of Matos, and Matos, so Matos was a 3 WAR guy. If we can get 1.5 WAR out of Bradfield for the season for literally less than 10% of the cost, I think that gives us the value we're looking for, and it helps our bullpen. So fans aren't going to like it. Matos is popular. Bradfield is insignificant. So the fans aren't going to like it, but it is a trade looking towards the future. So we drop to 87, so it's not too bad. All right. And now the next thing we were going to do, and I've already got the offer lined up, I just haven't submitted it yet. Fumito Yamamoto, 4 years, $11 million a year. He likes that. We're going to go ahead and submit that. Leaves us with $16 million to spend, and I don't want to spend it right away in case we get into a bidding war here for Yamamoto. I want to have some money. But this does now give us the opportunity to make an improvement offensively. Byron Buxton only wants 11. I mean, do we try to sign Buxton for a year or something? He only wants 3 years. I mean, can we do 2 years at 9 and 8? He wants that 3rd year. I mean, I'm going to keep an eye on Byron Buxton. I mean, if we can bring him in at if we can, I mean, Buxton, obviously his defense isn't quite what it once was, but we can stick him in left. And that's a great bat against lefties. I think we're going to, so he wants 3 seasons. I'm concerned about, would he do something like that? I wanted to do that. Shoot. 10, 9, and a player option for 8. Let's offer 3 years, $27 million for Byron Buxton. If he can stay remotely healthy, I mean, he's wrecked. But if we can get 100 games out of Buxton and he can give us this, so the power is dipped, but everything else has stayed pretty consistent. Power dropped. Oof. If I pull the offer, I'm not going to be able to re-sign him. Was that... Did I just... Yeah, Duran only wants 2.8. And we're still pretty heavy right-handed, right? We got Nolan Jones and Schuenel. Yeah, as much fun as it would be to have Byron Buxton, I don't know that that's the right answer. Maybe we can trade Myers. Is really good defensively, but he's going to go back into that backup role, and I don't know that he's going to love that. This would save us a couple of million if we can trade him and then sign Buxton or sign He's wrecked. Still really good defensively. How's Chapman done since leaving San Francisco? Spent the entire time with the White Sox. And he had a couple of good seasons, couple of 2.5 win seasons. There's just not a lot here. Duran's got the low work ethic. He was good in left field, not good in center. And McClain only wants $6 million. He's got a good bat. I think it might make more sense to go with someone like McClain, honestly. Yep, I got a little out over my skis with Buxton. McClain's got positional flexibility. He can play. He's good on the infield. He's passable out and left. I mean, I could sign McClain and Duran for less than what Buxton was going to ask for. Javon, no. If we look at our team right now, let's go ahead and clear everything. All right, so we got Contreras, we got Schoenel, we got Grissom, we got Royce Lewis, we've got Nolan Jones, we got Rafaela in left. I think Blyce for now in center. And Rafaela only has a 50 arm. What's Blyce's arm? 55, and then Rafaela. So Rafaela may actually be our right fielder. So Rafaela in right, Blyce in center, Bradfield in left, and then Vlad as our DH. Right now our backup infielder is Ortega. Our backup outfielder is Myers, and then O'Neill Perez is our backup. Our backup catcher. Just trying to get a feel for... So we have 15 pitchers. So we actually can sign... No, I can't. So if I send 2 of these pitchers to the minors, that's going to leave us with 13 pitchers. I'm trying to think out loud of where we're going to be from a roster perspective. So this is our 26. This is our offensive 26. Do we want to improve this? Because I think offensively, I think McClain is... He's terrible defensively. Offensively, McClain is a better option. He's got really good numbers against lefties. What would that look like? Who would he replace against lefties? Yeah, I mean, he wouldn't replace Grissom or Royce Lewis. Nolan Jones, I think his ratings have held through his injury. His overall potential dipped a bit. The contact dipped last year. But we may need to start thinking about what we're going to do next season when Nolan Jones opts out. So I want to sign the contract with that free agent pitcher first. And then I think we can kind of readdress and see where we stand. So let's send him up to next month. Oh, right, the expansion draft. Let's go ahead and complete. Nope. Enrique Bradfield, he should be on. Oh, okay. So if the AI is going to take Bradfield, so I need to. All right. So this is dumb, but I'm going to do this. All right, so they're going to take him, and I'm going to go into there we go. There we go. I just needed to go into commission mode. I'm not gonna lose. I'm not gonna lose Bradfield. I'm not gonna do it. I have a feeling I lose Chirinos, which isn't great, but I think we have an option. All right, let's submit it. Okay. Expansion draft, continue draft. Let's go ahead and complete. Let's see who we lose. Marco Luciano is the top overall pick in the expansion draft. Huh. Luis Lara, he was the guy we picked up in the Schoenel trade last year. Welcoming Gonzalez of the Red Sox. Okay. Bump tickets to 42, maybe make a little bit more money. Let's get to the next month. Let's get into international amateurs and do our scouting. So Tamez is somebody we can make a run at. I like the fact that league interest in some of these guys is still low. Delgado's a stud. I think I just need to go heavy into Albert Delgado, right? And we'll get there. All right, let's get to Hall of Fame voting. It's going to be a long video, guys. I've been trying to keep these videos. Yeah, that's what I thought was going to happen. All right, not a problem. Oh, wow. Okay. 3 years at $20 million. Oh, I got to shut off commissioner mode. I went in there for the expansion draft. All right, so if we don't sign Yamamoto, which I feel like we have to. Oh, man. So what's the alternative if we don't sign Yamamoto? Bring back Dylan Cease for another year. So right now, we're looking at Harrison, Detmers, Nishimura, and Schultz, which isn't, I mean, that's fine. But then we can't re-sign Detmers. I think we gotta. I think we just do. Give him 3 at 20. Let's see how that goes. I'm not going to get, I'm not going 25, 30, $35 million for this guy. So we'll just sort of see. Hall of Fame voting. Beltran will get my vote. Abreu deserves to be in. He's not going to get in, but I'm not going to waste my vote on him. Miggy, yes. Cologne will continue to get votes from me. Zach Greinke, his first year, he probably deserves to get in. King Felix won't get in. Mauer will vote for. Yachty will vote for. Petey will vote for. Posey. That's it. Wow, Wainwright had a good career. Vote for Wainwright. 200 wins. 200 is the new 300, right? We'll vote for Lester. And King Felix. I can't believe King Felix won't make it. All right. Winter meetings. So we may have to think about taking money from the development. Strider signs with Philadelphia, 7 years, $210 million. Francisco Alvarez, 8 years, $241 million with the Phillies. Jesus looks like he's going to get 5 years at close to 30. Good for him. Anything else we need to do? I mean, all this money for extension obviously will go away once Yamamoto signs. But we do still have money for this season. And improving the infield, improving the outfield is still something that we can talk about doing. Duran is still there. So it looks like somebody signed. Oh, no, McLean's still there. 4 years, 6.5. Duran 1 year at 2.6. I mean, the Duran contract feels like a good deal. I mean, not can hit for a lot of power. He's got good contact, good avoid K, good gap. I mean, we'll sit on it for a little bit. We don't have to make any moves. I'm just more concerned about our depth. If we've got some people who are willing to take minor league deals, I'll go ahead and offer them. This is about as far as I'm going to go on Yamamoto. So we lose Luzardo. We're going to get a first-round pick. We drop to an 85. I think 25 is about as far as I'm willing to go. We'll go 4 years at 25. I think that's about as far as I'm willing to go here. If it goes more than that, the Cubs signed Framber Valdez. Logan Webb signs with the Mets, 5 years, $119 million. That number came way down. Toronto, or the Tornado, that's Austin. That's the former Oakland A's. Signed Luzardo, so he comes back home. Good for him. Let's get up to the Rule 5. So he still likes our offer, I assume. Yeah, we don't have much money left. So, I mean, any changes we make going forward are going to be fringe. And that, I think, includes next season, too, unless... Yeah, I'm not... I think we'll be able to re-sign Royce Lewis because if he opts out, then this number drops by $23 million, and we can then offer that to Lewis. If Jones drops out, that number, if he opts out, that number drops by $19 million. We're going to lose Contreras. We're gonna probably walk away from this $5 million on Myers, so we'll have a little bit of money, I think. I don't think we have to do anything with Lewis just yet. Anybody we want to add to the 40-man? Let's get Jim Gonzalez on there. I think the issue is that we're going to start to see some of these depth problems come to light here because we're still waiting on our young players who are all still in A-ball to really, I think we'll put Kim on the 40-man, to really start to develop. It's going to be a couple years before our draft, I think, pays our drafts start to pay dividends. Kellner, I guess we'll stick Kellner on the 40-man. We'll stick Rigdon on the 40-man. Not that I expect either of them to make the team, but all right, let's go to the Rule 5. We're picking 27th. Let's go to our next pick. Ooh, this guy looks pretty good. Let's go to pitchers. Hang on just a second. I dropped my phone. Sorry, I had to answer an email. I was hoping to cheat the system here a little bit and sign ourselves a popular pitcher that could work with our team, but it doesn't look like there are any. About batting potential. Cutter Coffee, the former, he's Red Sox, right? He looks pretty good. He might be a cheap alternative if we lose. I think I'm going to take Cutter Coffee. He might be a nice cheap alternative if we lose Nolan Jones next season. Good speed. Yeah, he gave up 929 OPS in Double-A last year. Good defensively. We'll take Cutter Coffee, and then we'll figure out a way to make him work with the team. That solves our need. We don't have to spend the money on Alec Thomas. We won't have to spend the money on McLean anymore. And I got a text message. I got a phone call and a text message. What is this? All right. Sorry. All right. So there's that. We're still waiting on. Yeah, and I think this is important because I think we lose Detmers next season. Just for shits and giggles, as they say. Really? What if I retained 100%? Because I don't care about the money this year. Oof. What was this? His stamina was a 50. What are you talking about? 70, 50, 50. He looks pretty damn good. No, the game doesn't value Detmers. Justin Robleski. Extreme ground ball. His ARB number jumps to 5 next season. 3.58 ERA, 2.6 WAR. This is a possibility. Maybe we turn Detmers into Robleski and we get him for another, 2 years, I think? It's another lefty in our rotation, but whatever. Robert Gasser, 2.2. His ARB number next year is 3.6. He's another lefty. Ian Seymour's a lefty. He was a Rule 5 guy. 4-year deal. A lot of these guys are the same, but that's fine. And Kyle Hurt. I think this might be the option, 70, 50, 45. So they can't afford the contract. Let's see. Bednar's making $15 million. I retain. Will you give me something else? He put up good numbers in Arizona, but Texas is a hitter's park. 4+ pitches, good stuff. Get the best year out of it, because we're not going to be able to re-sign him, especially if we sign the young kid from Japan. I'm just looking to try to improve our bullpen a little bit more. Sinker slider from Mesa. I mean, I think I'm okay with this. Trying to figure out how much they can retain. So what about, can we get, they've got $16 million in cash. Can I get $3 million? And Kyle Hurt? Far, Ramirez, a catcher who can't really catch. Yoendry Sanchez. Okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to send Reed Detmers with 80% retained. This came out of nowhere, but I'm going to send Reed Detmers to the Rangers. We'll let them deal with his salary next season, along with Yoendry Sanchez. We're going to pick up Kyle Hurt, who is, I think, has probably got this year and next. Ground ball pitcher, 95 to 97, decent enough stamina. If he can give us these numbers here, we will take that. He'll be our number 5 starter, gives us a righty in the rotation. Let's do it. A lot of moves this offseason, but Kyle Hurt now moves into our rotation. I think, let's take a look. We should have him for, we got him for 3 years. That's fantastic. Okay. That's really good. That gives us some positional flexibility, and my guess is that Hurt can give us 80% of Detmers for almost no cost. So let's go ahead now, and we'll just send it next month. Yeah, this is going to end up being a long video. This is going to end up being almost 2 hours. I apologize for that, but it's just the way it went. We signed Fumito Yamamoto. That's awesome. Let's get a scouting report on him now, shall we? High work ethic, 22-year-old. I think it was that fourth season that did it, and I think our staff is looking up. So Harrison, I think we do something like that. Harrison, Nishimura, Yamamoto, Hurt, Schultz. And then our bullpen, we don't really have a lockdown guy in the pen this year. That's going to be a little interesting. Maybe go Sheehan as our closer. A little bit more money left for this season as well. What do we got in terms of popular relief pitchers that we can bring in at a reasonable cost? Juan Mercedes, extremely popular. Yeah, we can bring in Juan Mercedes, sure. %. Let's see what sort of bump we get from that. January. So let me know what you think of the deals we made. I wasn't involved in Discord making these deals like I was the trade deadline, but that's something I will continue to do is work with Discord while I'm making these trades and stuff. Maybe we go a different route this time. Maybe we go after some of these guys who don't have very high and we try to get a couple of them. It's just so hard to pass up on a player like this. I think we might be overthinking it. I think we just go after Delgado and just not be dumb about it. Honestly, I think that's probably the plan. Trade proposal, Dane Myers. No thank you. Let's take a look at Nakamura. Hopefully the ratings are what we want them to, or not Nakamura, Yamamoto. Actually got better. Let's get another scouting report, get that up to very high. But 55, 60, 65. I mean, he's making a crap ton of money, so. Still waiting on, still waiting on the pitcher to sign? No, he signed. Did we not get a fan interest bump for it? Interesting. Yeah, I don't think we did. Or did he sign elsewhere? Did he sign someplace else? Where is he? He signed with the Dodgers. I didn't even get an opportunity to counter. Huh. That's silly. All right. Well, let's do our international amateurs, I guess. And I think we just do this, right? We just don't even question it. Just 2.8 offer contract. Let's offer him the most we can offer him right now and see if that's enough to get it done. Yep. That's what I was afraid of. Damn it. Okay. All right. Flores is definitely not as good, but I don't think he's necessarily a bad. Or do we go after Herrera? two really good outfielders here. Looks like Herrera's probably better, but I like the... No, we're going to go after Flores. Oops. And just hope that that works. No, I'm not looking for a new job. Thank you very much. All right, so we signed Flores. That power and gap power, just too much to pass up. The high work ethic, 65 outfield range. I just couldn't pass it up. So that's going to do it. That's going to be the end of a very, very long video. A lot of changes were made. We sent out a couple of pitchers. We sent out Luzardo and Reed Detmers and brought back Kyle Hurt and Fumito Yamamoto. We sent out Ramos and brought in Enrique Bradfield Jr. We brought in Miguel Bleis in a trade with the Red Sox. I've already forgotten who that trade was for. Oh, right. Mason Miller and Cole Messina. So let me know. Let me know how you think we did this offseason. A lot of moves. Give me a number. Do we exceed last year's win total of 95 games? And I need to, before we go any further, can we change the schedule? To avoid playing those games in Japan. I don't know that we can. I don't know how to do it. Force start. If somebody knows how to do it, let me know. I'd like to get rid of those first two games at the beginning of the season that start a week before everything else. If you've watched the video to this point and you know the answer to that, let me know. Thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate the support. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.